All right. Not the way we wanted to see it go, but another game where we try to close this thing out. Let's talk about it, everybody. The New York Knicks unfortunately fall in Game 5 to the Detroit Pistons 106-103. Knicks entered this one looking to close this thing out and saying, hey, we got them on the ropes. Up 3-1 in the series. We should be able to do this at home. We have not been able to do this at home. Close out a game since 1999. So we were hoping that it would be the first time since then that we actually get to witness the New York Knicks win on their own home court in the postseason. And from the jump in that first quarter, you could tell this one was going to be a little bit ugly. Thompson was able to get to his spots, draw contact, and just find easy open lanes in the dunker spot for easy points. And what the Knicks didn't do was go to Karl-Anthony Towns, which was working in games 3 and 4. Instead, we decided to go in a different direction. Go back to the same things that did not work in game 2. It's funny how this all plays out. And as the game unfolded, you just saw that this team was going to be in a dogfight all night long. So long that it was only a 1-point lead at the end of the first half. And then what happened? What we always are accustomed to with this New York Knicks team. The third quarter of doom. Doesn't matter what roster it is. Doesn't matter who's out there. Somehow, some way, we cannot get our ish together when it gets to the third quarter. Whatever you're talking about in there, guys, change it up. Do something different. Go get some sage. It's got to be different, all right? The Knicks, as they showed on the graphic today, were a minus 7.3 in third quarters in the prior 4 games. In this one tonight, they were a minus 10, and you can see by the way that they were playing. Now get to the fourth quarter. This thing was a battle all the way through. And just when you think the Knicks were able to maybe come away and sneak one again, Jalen Brunson rolls his ankle on a busted floorboard on this Kith court. And then Josh Hart goes down with an injury after enough contact with Karl-Anthony Towns. And I think it was Cade Cunningham who finished the layup. And then we had the questionable decision-making by Tom Thibodeau not to use the final timeout with a minute 30 to get his guys back on the court to close this thing. And instead we saw brick after brick after brick. But hey, we got some miraculous shooting from Bridges and OG to tie this thing up almost. Maybe we could have got this thing back. Not tie it up, but get this thing back into it. But that wasn't enough, man. As I said, the New York Knicks would lose this one 106-103. Let's talk about it. Want to hear what you guys think about this game tonight. Brutal loss, man. Looking to close this thing out, as I said. But that's why we're here, man. So with me on the other side is my guy CK2K. You saw him on the play-by-play earlier today doing his damn thing, doing a great job as always. I'm your host, Alex Terrace, a.k.a. the Tradicaster. We're waiting from CP. He's coming back from the game tonight en route back to Studio B to give us his thoughts. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Remember, download Discord, go on the web browser, whatever fits your fancy. We got to hear your takes tonight, people. We got to hear how you feel about this game. Just a brutal, brutal loss. CK, I really can't, man. And look, there's a lot that happened in this game. There's a lot. Since game 3. No game has been decided by more than 2 points. All right, the Pistons are doing their damn thing defensively, mucking things up for the New York Knicks. Knicks are just struggling at times to find offense, although, like I said, didn't go to Karl-Anthony Towns soon enough and often enough in that first quarter. But the thing we got to talk about, man, is the questionable decision-making by Tom Thibodeau not to call a timeout. I get that you had one timeout left. I get that you want to trust your guys. You have campaign Deuce out there with OG Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns. Why you don't call a timeout to get your guys back out there on the floor when you see that this team needs somebody to create? You need an initiator. You have not relied on Bridges or anybody else to lead that ship. All right? Why he doesn't call with a minute 30 to go in the fourth quarter is beyond me. And to me, man, tonight, there's a lot of things that went left and right. It's not all on that play. They had opportunities to get into a rhythm earlier on this game, but I know we got to focus in on that questionable call, because maybe, just maybe, you get what you had in game 4 where you just eke another one out. this series is over. You're moving on to the next round. You're resting up for Boston. How you feeling, man?
Why do we always play so unsure, soft? Just I don't understand why this is becoming a trend in these, series ending games at home in front of our own crowd. We keep doing this. You mentioned it at the top. We do it every year. We remember more famously the Sixers series last year. Why do we keep doing this to add on another game to this series? Even if we go into Detroit and blow them out and win in 6, cool. But like, why must it always come down to that? It's really, really frustrating. We came out so flat today. Like, thank God Detroit was shooting as bad as we were through the first 2 quarters, and I would say the third as well. We caught fire towards the end of the third, and it's just I don't understand how it's so difficult for this team to capitalize on the energy of the crowd. Every Knicks fan in that building was excited, was ready, outside the building, excited, ready, hype, giving this team love, energy, all the vibes, the feels. And it just does not translate to the players every single time. We're up 3-1 in your own crib. Hell, we even threw some stink on it and put the Kith court on it, and we still couldn't figure it out, bro. I just don't understand. Jalen Brunson, my God, it felt like he forgot how to dribble. Like, what, bruh? We don't need a Space Jam 3, bro. Why it looked like he was the ball, he could not get a solid handle throughout all 4 quarters. We were joking about it in the play-by-play, but then I'm like, don't worry, 4th quarter, we know how JB is. Even then, like, we're making passes that made no sense. ISO ball when we're in the middle of a cut. It just felt like we reverted and went backwards at the most weirdest and worst time, when this was a game where we just had to come out there, show our aggression, play the same way, especially with how them shooting terribly. They were gifting us Cade Cunningham in foul trouble, Duren in foul trouble. We had everything. Yeah, we had some foul problems as well, but we still were weathering that storm, and we just could not get over the hump. Alex, I'm just so dumbfounded on how we constantly, every single time, cannot capitalize on a series winning game in the Garden. Once again, now we got to take another raggedy little trip to Little Caesars Arena to go and now, overachieve and have to hear the conversations for another few days. And it's just so frustrating. Like, shout out to the end of that game. Yeah, Mikal and OG making cool shots, and that was fun. Like, I believe I drank the Kool-Aid for sure, but like, man, it's becoming a trend that it's so dead, bro.
It's so dead, as you said, man. And it's the attention to detail that we've talked about so many times with this team this season. And look, I brought up the last thing with Tom Thibodeau. Everyone gets blamed for this game, man. Everyone gets blamed for this game.
Everybody, bro.
Everybody gets blamed. There's no one who is exempt from not getting blame in this game. All you had to do was show up with the energy to play, and they didn't do that, unlike Detroit in that first quarter. And let's get back to what I said earlier, man. Like, this team just went away from the game plan. In the first half, Karl-Anthony Towns only takes one and makes one 3-pointer, where you're talking about 2 games ago, he goes 4 for 8 from downtown. Yesterday, or not yesterday, but in game 4, he went 5 for 7 from downtown. So we figured out, hey, if we get Karl-Anthony Towns the ball at the break, above the break, or on the wings, he can knock down threes and cause havoc for this team, create even more spacing for his teammates, so that way they can get to the cup. Instead, we revert back to what didn't work earlier on in this series, which made it even a tougher game, right? Where now you got to hope for magic, whether it be a 21-0 run, to defeat them in game 1, or maybe you're hoping for some brilliant shot making from Jalen Brunson in game 2 to bring this thing even closer in the 4th quarter. No. Why we did not go to Karl-Anthony Towns like we did the last 2 games makes no sense to me. And look, You're seeing the numbers right here tonight. He has 17 points, 11 boards. This is a guy who was getting us 30 the other nights, man. And it's not like they did anything different. Shout out to Bryce, who came on the show yesterday and previewed this game. Like, JB Bickerstaff came through with the same game plan that he talked about. Didn't do anything different. We saw Tobias Harris on Karl-Anthony Towns. We knew Duran was going to be on Josh Hart to shade. They didn't do anything different, and yet we were able to figure things out. And we can discuss, we can nitpick saying, well, they won by 1, they won by 2. Did we really do that much to win? Well, when you win, you did enough just to win. And sometimes doing just enough is all that matters, okay? That goes in life as well. You could be, even if you think about school, right? You could be terrible in a subject. If you study hard enough and you just do enough to get that passing grade, that's all you got to worry about at times, man. You just did just enough. And so for this, they didn't do just enough. And I feel like once again, you look at Karl-Anthony Towns demanding the ball, right? It's like, yo, call for the rock. Yo, Jalen Brunson, why are we not getting Cat the ball? Why are we not running pick and rolls? Why are we not figuring out ways to get this guy open looks? We didn't do that. And then on top of that, Tom Thibodeau. What are you doing, man? You know what was working the last 2 games. Why are we now switching things up, man? It's like, I always say, man, when I play pickup, it's like when let's switch and go to the other side of the court. I'm like, why are we switching, man? Let's not fix what's broke. Keep going the same way. If we keep winning that direction, we're going to keep going that direction until the wheels fall off. And I don't know why we decided to go away, and the wheels weren't falling off. They were doing just fine. And this game, man, it's just that to me is one of the many things that's infuriating about this loss. We only got Karl-Anthony Towns. This is in total. This is how many shots he took in the entire game from downtown. He took 4. Not enough. He made 2 of 4. And 2 of those shots felt like desperation heaves. Not actual setup like we saw in the last game. Right? And we could talk about the miraculous shot making, but for the most part, he was set up to get threes, and we didn't do that.
I'm having a hard time pinpointing and blame. I like you said, it's on everyone for me. It's completely on everyone for me in this one. It's just so crazy to me, Alex. It's not like we came in here and it was like, the crowd was dead and, it's like we can't, the energy wasn't there. Bro, the Knicks fans showed up in this one. Mm-hmm. And it's like they didn't love us the way we was loving them. In the Garden, a Garden moment. And now we over here sitting here watching Boston handle their business, and now they got all these injuries and stuff the same way we do, and they get to rest. But meanwhile, we got to make one more trip up to that raggedy stadium. Hear raggedy complaints, hear raggedy situation. I'm having such a hard time trying to be, let's talk about this. I can't because I'm still in emotion mode right now, Alex.
Yeah. Look, man,
this game should have been it. This should have been the end of the series. This should have been the end of the conversations. This should have been the end of all the, are they ready? This should have been the end of that. All this loss does now feed into that. I'm glad we fought back, and I understand they only won by what was it, 1, 2? I don't even care. But now the conversation
3 tonight.
3
tonight.
Right? Yeah. But the conversation's still going to continue, even if we win Game 6. Great, but are they going to be able to carry on against Boston? Now I'm going to start thinking that to myself. I don't know. Can we? You know what I mean? That's the kind of unnecessary thought process that we don't need, man. Handle these damn games, bro. Handle these situations. Thomas Bartholomew Thibodeau, understand the situation at hand, man. I get it, they're hobbled. You had to take them out for a few seconds. The minute you're ready to send them back in the game, call the timeout. Don't wait for the Pistons to go on a run and then say, probably now is probably a good time to call timeout, get them in. It's too late. Also, Alex, please explain to me, why is Cam Payne and Deuce McBride the ones coming into the game? Why did we not go Deuce and Mitch?
Right?
At no point in that point of the game did I want Cameron Payne making a decision for me when this is a vital part of the game. Shout out to Cam Payne game 1. But he ain't been that dude for about 4 games now. Peace and love.
Hey, look, he's a guy that can put the wind in your sails or take them away. And look, I'm not going to put any blame on Cam Payne, but to your point, We needed stops. We needed a rim protector.
Everybody's fault. That's coach's fault. Why don't put Mitch back out there? Mitch was literally the only good thing we had going on.
You're right, man.
I can go on and on.
Go on and on, man. Look, we need
raggedy chat trying to Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is the only one that gave us offense in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we could have used more, but we had no other offense going on in the fourth quarter. None. He had 13, 15 points in the fourth quarter? Missed 2 shots?
Dude.
Everybody gets blamed, bro. Nobody want to wake up for the damn occasion, get the win, go home, rest, get ready. Now we got to hope that Jalen Brunson's ankle's okay. We got to hope that Josh Hart, the hearts are okay because he got hit in the hearts. I don't know what situation is there. We got so many things now we have to worry about while trying to win another game and end this series instead of going home, resting. We're already home, resting, being ready for round 2. Alex, I'm pissed.
Hey, man, I'm right there with you. We should have closed this game out. Yeah. We should have closed this game out. There's no question that we should have closed this game out. And it's funny that we got Pistons fans in here, and we got some Celtics fans in here. Celtics fans want to come in here and get that smoke. But hey, Pistons fans in here, now that you guys win a game, you want to show your faces again and come through. You were all hiding the last 2. I know how it is, man. But look,
we call them the homeless folk in the subway. You know how you be seeing somebody crashing out in the subway, you just look at them, you just walk by, you don't pay them no attention. That's what we tell. That's what we do in the play-by-play. They be coming here talking crazy. We just look at them and we just keep talking about the Knicks. We don't care what they have to say. Sorry, Pistons fans. I ain't hearing it tonight. Y'all had nothing to say when we was winning. Y'all disappear when we're winning, but here you guys come. If you don't go find a Detroit Pistons TV. Oh wait, that's not a thing, huh? I ain't hearing y'all tonight either, bro. I'm sorry. Go, Alex. I'm so sorry. You be the pro that you are. Take it away. Let me stop. I'm crashing out, bro. I'm so over this.
Nah, don't crash out, man. It ain't over yet, man. It ain't over yet. Don't worry.
It's not. 100% it's not. I hate that we're here. Anyways.
But look, I think the other thing, to your point, talk about Mitchell Robinson. There's two things I want to talk about Mitchell Robinson tonight. First of all, absolute beast, man. Absolute beast. With putback dunks, grabbing boards. We needed all of that tonight to keep this team in the game. He went 5 of 8 from the field, got 13 points, 11 boards, 8 offensive boards, by the way, tonight. 8 of the 11, all right? 2 steals, 2 blocks. Mitch was doing the damn thing. Obviously, you wanted the free throws to be a little bit better. We already know what that is when it comes to Mitch and his free throws. The thing about this, and to your point, man, this is why I ask for the Twin Towers. This is why I ask for him to be in that starting rotation. Love Josh Hart. Nothing against him. I talked to Andrew about this and said, I want to close this thing out in 5. I know they're going to get 1. I need to close this thing out in 5 so that way they can get the rest. Why? Because you need defense. You need rim protection. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns get into foul trouble today. Obviously, Mitch gets back in there. You don't want to risk Cat because you're going to need him. You're going to need some shot making from him down the stretch. But if you leave Mitchell Robinson out there, you at least get second chance opportunities. You at least get some rim protection. And in that run, as you're talking about, where you don't have Jalen Brunson, you don't have Josh Hart, and you need some defense, why not put that guy out there? Why not put the deterrent out there? Now we're seeing Duren getting easy putbacks, easy layups. You know who could have been there to meet him at the rim? One Mitchell Robinson. But instead, we don't have him out there. So now what we have is just open shots for everybody. And Cat can't be the guy to be that physical when you need him out there for offense. He's got 5 fouls. 5. You're not going to have him in there with a minute to go and then foul out. You need some shot making. What are we doing? And then, oh man, I could go on and on about the aggravating end to the game.
I'm going to say back to you. Go on and on, Alex.
But like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? And then to even have the confusion at the end of the game where it's like, oh, who should be on the court? Should Bridges be off? Should Mitch be on? Like, dude, get your ish together. How we don't have that together in the final frame. And yo, the crazy thing is, we could have had another shot. Cat got that thing out. He dug it out after McBride's missed shot.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like this thing where it's like, with Mitch, man, he should have been out there in the final minutes. But here's the other thing to it. Why the hell? And look, love Mitch. Knew he'd bring impact to this team when he returned. Just defensively, it's been different when he's on the court. But why are we now force-feeding the living daylights out of this man? Why are we force-feeding him to be like this, offensive juggernaut? Like, Mitch has shown some stuff, but now it's like, all right, man, now we're doing crazy bounce passes. crazy dump offs like in the middle of the paint for him to. It's like that. I felt like was also part of the issue where, look, guys, Mitch is great as a lob threat, but unless you have wide open space for him and not crowding the paint, he's not really the guy that you can thread the needle to and you have like confidence that he's going to grab the rock and then fight through contact.
So many times, bro.
How many times did we have to see this? How many times?
So many times, man. And it was like in consecutive possessions. It wasn't even like we tried to, oh, my bad, you're right. We shouldn't do that. They did it play, then the next play, and then I'm like, what are we doing? And don't put this on Mitch. Y'all throwing it at his knees. He ain't looking for it. Oh, my gosh, bro. Yeah, sorry. Ugh.
Dude, and then
like
the crazy.
We just came up with some weird energy today, man.
And I got to question your guy too, man. I don't know why Bridges decided to go with like the half court heave, like go ahead to Mitch. I'm like, what was that?
Bro, in theory, I get what you're going for, but you have to know your personnel. And on top of that, even if you know your personnel, you still overthrew a 7-foot. That's the other crazy part. I love Mikal, but I'm gonna call him out when I call him out. And that was definitely one of them. Like, I get what you're thinking. He's not the guy to do that to. And also, get your aim right too. I don't understand. Shout out to Mitch. I love that we were trying it. I love that we were trying to feed him and get him going. But man, some of those decisions we made in his direction, I think he got those turnovers too. Am I tripping? Or I hope they didn't give him to him. Let me check the stats.
I hope not, man.
No, he only has two. No, he didn't. He only has two turnovers. We're good.
Thank God, because that would have been wrong, man. That would have been absolutely wrong.
That would have been terrible. Yeah.
Oh man, salute to Knicks Nation.
Go ahead.
Nah, I said salute to Knicks Nation, man. Appreciate you all for tuning for another KFTV post game live. We are just venting grievances, man. This is grievances hour with CK and Alex as we wait for CP to join us and give us his thoughts. He was in the building today at the arena, so got to know what the vibes are like. Man, just a tough one. Make sure that thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. All right, we're gonna get to some of your calls. I'm gonna bring some people up so we can get some of your takes going. So make sure to be ready when I call you out. But before we do that, let's shout out some super chats. All right. Shout out to my guy TM, the Chief Mon Operation, for helping me out with this. As always, we got LD with the super chat. Says LD is always negative. I guess honesty is a crime. LD is ready to have that. He's always ready to have that conversation. I'm sure CP will be ready too when he gets here tonight as well. We got a $5 super chat from Kenny Gales. That's on Thibs. Call that timeout. Run some form of offense, a play, anything. Have them foul something to get them back in the game. We got King Matthew. Shout out to you for being a Fanchise channel member with the $2 super chat. They should be ashamed of themselves. Hashtag cardiac New York Knicks. Yeah, man. Cardiac Nick affair indeed. Shout out to GQ. Shout out to you for being a Fanchise channel member with the $10 super chat. Skills-wise, we are so much better than Detroit. We have 4 of the 5 best players in the series, but it's a struggle every game against them. I think that is so telling. Someone please help me understand. Calling out Tom Thibodeau for that one. Tom Thibodeau. Let's see. We got BLK Yankee 79. I think it's Black Yankee. Black Yankee 79 with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate the super chat. And we got Rare Edition with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you for being a Fanchise channel member. He said our leadership came out short this game. Plain and simple. No one took ownership during clutch time. Hey, man. No one took ownership indeed. It was tough. We were looking for an answer. We didn't get it. We're going to talk all about it tonight. So we got Zach on the Discord. Zach, let's get to you, my man. How are you feeling about this one?
Very disappointed, obviously, as we all are. This was what I would call a concerted team loss. I mean, we went out there with absolute nothing. I mean, listen, Brunson shot 25% from the field. We didn't feed Pat. He couldn't even hit inside the paint either. I think he only shot 35% for the field too. So I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around in this loss, man. Thibs obviously, not having them foul Asar on that play or even calling the timeout, whichever one you want. But either way, this was a team loss all the way from coach to player. And dude, I know Brunson wanted to be the hero in Game 5 and take us, to the next round, but my man needs to, understand the complexity of the game sometimes.
Absolutely, man. Look, JB did not have. He is not excluded from blame in this one. It was a
At
bad
all.
one for him. And
At all.
look, it was. I mean, 4-16 from the field, 16 points. You know, shot 70% from the free throw line, hit 7 of his 10 attempts, only 1 of 4 from downtown. Got 7 assists, 3 boards, but you know, 4 turnovers as well. Not a good game for Jalen Brunson, and you saw that he was forcing some shots,
You sure
taking
did.
difficult shots, man.
Mhm.
The flow, it was very choppy, man. Where you need your floor general to be the floor general, he was not that tonight. And that, like, look, when I look at Brunson too, man, like we already know that he's not going to have bad back-to-back games, right? We know that for a fact. And appreciate the call, Zach, by the way. Appreciate the call for and always for you tapping in. But like when we look at JB, it's just, if you're not feeling it, man, like do something else to get these guys going. And you know, I got to give credit to the Detroit Pistons for how they played tonight. And I got to look at Cade Cunningham, man. One thing that he constantly does, knowing that it can't be all him by himself, is that he makes sure to get his team activated. He's always looking for the open guy, looking to make the right pass, whether it's the lob to Duran, whether it's a pass to Timmy, whether it's a pass to Tobias, and just setting those guys up and just reading the moment. And it's not like he hasn't had his issues either. You know, Bryce on yesterday's show told us, we talked about, he had 3 turnovers in the last final like few minutes in yesterday's game. Like, it's hard to be perfect in this. No one's looking for perfect. It's very hard to get perfection, man, in this type of game. But for the most part, though, I'm just looking for setting guys up. And I feel like even in the third quarter, it was a lot of, you know, looking for his shot at times and just trying to get to the free throw line yet again. And it's like, dude, just make the read. We don't need anything complicated. And I feel like it's just too much of, we got to rely on Brunson, man. We got to have this guy take us home. And that's just kind of like the playbook for the fourth quarter, too. It's got to change, man. It's got to change.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's on him too. You know, he talked about it after game 2. He showed us it in game 3 and 4, and then game 5 went right back into it. I don't know if be like you said, because he wanted that moment, he wanted to have that shine. I don't know what it is he was looking for there, but it felt like he just reverted right back into the things that he said he needed to correct, and he did not correct them. And you brought up the best point in. You know, when you see it's not working for you, your game is not falling right now, the very next thing that you should be doing as number 1, as captain, is now it's time to get guys going. It's time to get the other guys going. My shot is not there. And, you know, that's that compliment you just gave to Cade, because that's what he did. Cade did not have a good start to this game. And in that third quarter, when, you know, we were just stalling out, he found his rhythm and he struck the blood, and he got us. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where Jalen Brunson fell a little flat here tonight. I'm not really tripping about him long term doing that. I'm sure the way we're talking about it, he's well aware about it. That's going to turn around in game 6 and we move on. But for tonight, you got to call a spade a spade. And yeah, JB just wasn't great, and he kept on shooting it regardless. But you know, I had hope in that fourth quarter. I can't lie to you, Alex. That fourth quarter started. We saw him get the bucket, the mid range. He was starting to figure it out. Got the free throw. I was like, all right, okay, hold on. Jalen Brunson about to have that fourth quarter again, and then immediately clanked the next few shots. And I think that also plays a big part in what we were talking about with the Mitchell Robinson overfeeding. It's like he's trying to find his shot, realizes he's cut off, he's in a compromising situation, and he has to quickly dish it to somebody. I think Mitchell Robinson was the scapegoat for a few of those passes, and I don't like when Jalen does that. Those are the few things he does that I hate. That just, if you're gonna commit to trying to get your offense going, commit to it, take the shot up, do what you got to do. But if it comes to you, mid shot passing out or mid double team trying to find somebody open when you know they're not ready for it, that is too late at that point. And I think tonight was one of the nights we saw him do that a little bit too much.
Absolutely, man. Let's get to another call. We got King Matthews on the line. King Matthews, you gave the super chat. How are you feeling, man? What are your thoughts on this match? What's your thoughts on game 5?
Terrible, man. A shame. Disgusting. All bad words tonight, man. After coming to Detroit 2-0, you're supposed to what was I saying? Anyway, supposed to relax. Starting the game, just look rusted. You didn't care. You're supposed to end this series because Cleveland, they got their job done. Pacers, after being down 20 points against the Bucks, got it done. I ain't even checking the score, but if I remember, the Celtics are up by 20 points. They're about to get it done. And now we're about to go to Detroit right now, but having them have a better edge, man. Mitch did his thing, but for the love of God, man, he has butterfingers. Stop giving him the ball. Even for Brunson to passing the ball, OG and Novi should at least gotten the ball more, man. Other than Mitch, OG had a good game. 3 blocks, especially in the first quarter. He sent that thing out of the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to OG, man. And Mikal Bridges, man. Yeah, but Mikal Bridges, man, he's a funny player. First half, he doesn't hit anything, and out of nowhere, in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, he hits those type of shots. Confusing player. I'm gonna say this though. First half, man, he's playing good defeat. He's a good defender in the first half, man. He's playing great defense. I'll tell you that. But the shot making, man, he's the up and down player, man. I need to do better. Feed Cat. That's all I need to do. But I'm gonna say this right now. Game six is a must win. Because if they don't win that game, game 7 is gonna look a lot different. So they need to lock in and win game 6. And Tom Thibodeau, you're not gonna get away, man. But other people are gonna say it though. But Thibs, do better. Y'all take it easy. Please, Knicks. Don't fail us. Y'all take it easy now.
Appreciate the call, King Matthews. As always.
It's so crazy. To King Matthews' point, like it's like you have to. It's a little confusing because you remember that these guys played together in college, and sometimes you feel like you would never know that because it does feel like Bridges does not play well with Brunson at times, because in that point that he just made in the first half wasn't great, but he went off in that second half. He got a lot of his points when Brunson wasn't on the floor. So it's like they got to find that way. I mean, maybe that's an off-season situation, but yeah, there's a lot of instances this season. It just feels like, like I understand they have that chemistry. They played together, won championship. I get that. But like sometimes you can't tell on the floor because he just disappears when he's playing with Brunson, but then shines when Brunson's off the floor. And we can't have that. Everybody want to cry about those middle schools, but they have a point, trade a lot of picks. They have them be a key part of the offense, but it's got to be also when all of our best players are playing. So I don't know. That I always found that this year, I found that very weird. I understand it's your first time with the team, but like you ain't had some type of chemistry with JB still. I don't know. I just found that odd. But to his point, I feel like that was a big thing I noticed in that fourth quarter. He went off, but JB was off the floor.
Yeah, and we saw that he was able to succeed too when JB missed some time for that month, right, where he dealt with that ankle injury. Yeah, and look, I think part of it too, man, is that it's a blend that he's trying to figure out, right? And
yeah, for sure.
It's that guy. He's trying to be that guy in Phoenix. He's trying to be that guy in Brooklyn. And it's somewhere in the middle. He's trying to be that player, right? It's not easy, especially when, look, I go back to Tom Thibodeau. Like, you have this guy. We've seen what he did with RJ when he was here. RJ would get the keys to that second unit and get a lot of, stuff ran for him to get him in an offensive groove to hopefully transfer that with that starting unit so that he, Randall, and Brunson can all cook at the same time. And I feel like we're not doing that. A lot of times with the second unit, whatever we consider a second unit at this point, it's like really two guys. I mean, it's like it's just Mitch, it's just Mitch and Deuce out there. So like that's another issue, man. But we'll talk about that later. But when I look at this, it's like he doesn't even get any opportunity to get that type of run. And then for him to even get into a rhythm, and I think what we've seen the most from Bridges is that when he has the rock in his hands, he's able to get comfortable. He's able to be a playmaker. He's able to be a more effective shot creator. And Thibs has to figure out a way. And it's not now. You can't do that in the postseason.
Yeah,
not now. This is not the time to experiment. As TM said in the chat, even with the experimenting with getting Mitch the ball, this is not the time to fully experiment. We had so many times during the race. We had 82 games, man. We had 82 games.
We should have been doing that in March. Like, now's not the time to be doing that.
Now is not the time. And so this is part of that issue, man, where we got guys to help relieve JB so that he didn't have to have the sole responsibility of winning games and having to be responsible for getting things going, but yet that is how this season has unfolded. And so it's just tough, man. We need Bridges to play better, but I feel like it's once again, man, there's just so many things. It's never just one thing. And I've said this many times. I accept him for who he is. I'm not looking. He's not the guy that said, "Hey, trade 5 picks for me." That is the front office. All right. If you're going to complain that he is not living up to the billing for the amount that you trade for him, it's not his fault. It is the front office's fault, and that's who you got to pinpoint for that issue. But for what we need out of him right now, we need him to just knock shots down, man. And that's the real thing. But let's get to the key stats of the night, man. Brought to us by Underdog Fantasy, and make sure that we can get through the stats in its entirety. All right. Man, here we go. So I don't know if you guys know this, but the Knicks lost 106 to 103. Let's just start there. All right. Looking at this thing. Knicks won the rebounding battle tonight. All right. They won 49 to 45. I think this is the first game they've actually won. No, this definitely is the first game they won the rebounding battle. And to see that they actually won and lost this thing, hell of a thing that I would not have expected. They lost the assist battle 21 to 19. Lost the steal battle 9 to 5. Won the block battle 10 to 9. Tied the turnover battle 13 apiece. And here's where it gets shoddy. Knicks shot 43% from the field, while the Pistons shot 42%. 3-point shooting, it was a brick fest for both of these teams. 36% for the Knicks, 28% really for Detroit. And then free throws. Here we go, CK. Your favorite stat. Pistons won this battle 72%, while the Knicks shot an abysmal 59% from the free throw line. Good God. What is happening, man? And then when we look at the points in the paint battle, Knicks slightly won that one, 52 to 48. Knicks won the second chance points with 19 to 18, just slightly, and then they lost the fast break point battle, 14 to 13. I mean, good God, CK. I know you're going to go off on this, but you got to hit your free throws, man. This is where you lose the game too. That's what I'm saying. It's not just one thing. We could point to Tom Thibodeau not calling a timeout. We could talk about Brunson, not necessarily being the best playmaker tonight. We could talk about not getting Cat involved to knock down threes, but free throws, my man. I'm guessing this is your biggest takeaway from the key stats,
brother. You already know, like that is it's absolutely insane, and this is why I have such a hard time playing along with the whole for Reeves, they don't treat us well. Like, cool, but when they do, what do we do with it? You know what I mean? Like that's always my issue. And tonight is no different. Captain Jalen Brunson, bro. I'm thank God you ended 7 for 10, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There was a point where he was like 1 for 3, then he was like 4 for 7. I don't know what was going on with him. I don't know if the pressure got to him. I don't know if he was dealing with pain. We know he had the hurt knee and stuff, but man, free throws. And poor Mitch, man, and that's probably the biggest part of why we shot so bad too. If there's a devil's advocate to this free throw conversation, is Mitchell Robinson did get sent to the line 7 times, Alex. That's about 7 times that they probably had to fix the rim because of the way that Mitchell Robinson throws that thing right at the front of the rim. But he did go, 3 for 7 from Mitch. I'll take it. Would love at least 50%, but it is what it is. But yeah, you already knew, bro. We could talk about every other thing. We could talk about the fouling. We could talk about turnovers, blah-bitty. Free throws. There's no way our free throw percentage should look close to what some people are expecting like field goal percentages to look like. You know what I mean, Alex? Like something if you hear like, oh, you shot like 55, 59% from the field, that's a really good night. I don't want to be saying 59% from the free throw line. So you said it perfectly. There's so many things we can go down the list that is at fault for the Knicks losing, but man, give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance at the free throw line. 16 to 27, man. Not acceptable. Home, Alex. Ain't nobody booing or saying F you or nothing like that, Alex. None of that was happening, bro.
Yo, that's the nasty part. That is nasty work when you think about it. When you put all that out there, it's like, yo, are you like, you can't be afraid in your own arena where you're just missing shots. That's crazy,
man.
That's craziness. Good.
Shout Underdog.
Lord.
Shout Underdog.
Shout Underdog, man. To all you out there, make sure to use that promo code KFTV use that promo code KFTV to get up to $1,000 in instant bonus cash and a free pick. All right. Cool thing about Underdog and Daniel, I just sent you some reels and my selections for tonight. Don't think I'm doing too well because you know, I had high hopes for Jalen Brunson tonight and the rest of the squad, but whew, tough night in the office, my guy. So when you play Underdog, you get the opportunity to choose up to 2 to 8 players when you're making your ticket. And all you got to do is just choose higher or lower on any stat, okay? And look, if you're sticking with all NBA, the thing you got to do is choose at least, you got to choose at least 2 players from 2 different teams, okay? That's the main thing when you're creating a ticket. If you decide to go more, you can mix and match from any sport. It could be MLB, it could be NBA, it could be hockey. You know, there's so many things you could choose. And like I said, all you got to do is just choose higher or lower for any stat. So for like tonight, here's what I chose. I chose Brunson, higher than 30.5 points. Obviously, that didn't happen. I thought this guy who was rolling would do it tonight. He struggled a little bit, didn't hit there. I chose Cade Cunningham to go higher than 9.5 assists. Cade has been on one, just finding his teammates. Didn't get that one tonight either. I chose Karl-Anthony Towns. To get higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. And he actually, whoa, that is not the right stats. Let me just pull the right stats up. And he did that for me tonight. He did get 2, so I did hit there. I chose Kristaps Porzingis to get higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. I don't know how that game is going, so I don't know where I'm at with that one. I had Gary Trent Jr. getting higher than 15.5 points tonight as well. Pretty sure he did that. So I went 3, most likely 3 of 5. And so for depending on how you choose, you could have been able to win something. I didn't, because for that selections, you got to at least get 4. But hey, that's why you go out there, man. Sometimes you get close, maybe you can win, and that's why you can go the assured route. That way you can earn a little bit of cash. And the other thing you could do, put on your GM caps and do the daily fantasy. That's always a good time as well. So make sure to go support our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code KFTV to get to $1,000 in instant bonus cash and a free pick. All right, let's get back to some calls. And we got direct on target. Unmute your mic, please. What's going on?
What's up, fellas?
What up, man? How you feeling?
Man. Hey, what's up, CK? Good job on the YouTube, man. You killed it, man. But
Appreciate you.
dude, you did a great job, man. Like always. And Alex, always great work, man. I don't know, man.
Appreciate it.
Just hey, what's the stat? Anybody know the status on Jalen, man? How's he doing? Is he doing all right? Or Josh? That's what got me worried, man. Like those dudes, they didn't look right, man. So, and I know they're freaking Iron Man, but I don't know, dude. Like it's nerve-wracking. The only good thing is that though both of them were shooting horrible, we were still in the game. And you were, dude, when he shot that 3, CK, I was watching you, man. Like I was like, oh, because there was like a delay.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, I held my breath. I was like, holy shoot, did he make that shot? Because it glitched on me too, man. But I don't know, guys. I'm just hoping that they can close it out in game 6. But I don't know, guys. Thoughts, man. What do you guys think, man? Are they going to be able to do it? What do you guys think?
You know, I got confidence in this team. I think they're going to do it, and appreciate the call. Direct on target. What's your name, man? Where are you calling it from? I feel like you changed your name too. I'm looking at your profile. What was your name prior to that?
No, it's always been direct on target. Yeah,
has it been direct on target?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm Sunset Park, but I'm in the I've been in the Marine Corps for like 23 years, man. So now I'm stationed in Maryland. So I'm just
that's right.
Okay. You guys.
That's what's up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man.
But yeah,
appreciate
guys.
You, man.
Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you calling. Look, I think for game 6. For game 6, I think they can do it. That's my prediction. I felt like the Knicks were always going to win this thing in 6. I believe that with their playoff experience, they'll come back out and play to the level that we expect them. Now, I know every single game has been, a bloodbath. It's come down, like I said, the last couple of games have come down to no more than, 1-2 points in determining who the winner is. But I think with the playoff experience that they have, between everyone in that starting 5, they should be able to get the job done. Obviously, it's going to come down to health as well, guys hitting their shots. But I do think the Knicks are more than capable of doing it. We saw this last year against Philly, who I believe was even a tougher team. You talk about Joel Embiid, who's been an MVP in this league. Tyrese Maxey, a star in this league. I mean, his elite speed is much more difficult to guard than, what we're dealing with for Detroit. And this is no shade to Detroit. I just think that if the Knicks were capable of doing it with a different roster last year, who, if you want to argue saying that this is the more talented roster, and I believe this is a more talented roster, this team can easily, we've seen it offensively, get going. They've been in the top 5 for a reason, even for how ugly it can be at times. I still think they have enough offensively to get out there and go score and make it easy for themselves. What do you think, CK?
I'm actually gonna take bar for bar from GOT. Shout out to GOT channel member, great supporter. Because what he said is exactly how I feel. It just because I'm very loud here today and very upset about things today. Don't get it twisted. I have confidence that we're gonna take in 6. I'm like you, Alex. I was really hoping I was gonna be wrong, but I had initially predicted Knicks in 6. But like I said, I'm gonna take it bar for bar from GOT because it's exactly how I feel. He said it will be closed out in 6, but we just hate that it always has to come to this. That's it. That's literally why I'm so irritated, because we know that they're going to come out here. They're going to play well. They love playing on the road. We might have some ups and downs and crazy situations that happen, but I have no doubt that the Knicks are going to handle business in Detroit. My irritation, Alex, as I said at the top, and I'm going to say it over and over again, I don't care if I repeat myself, is we do this on a yearly basis now, where it feels like we just cannot close out at home. And I hate that, man. I want the Garden to be that place that, it's feared by opposing teams, not welcomed and excited. And I feel like we keep just not getting that moment, and we didn't do it again. So, as GOT said, we're going to finish this thing in 6, but I'm mad it came to that. That's where I feel. We're going to get in 6, but
I believe I'm right there with you, man. I believe we're going to get it in 6. And look, Jalen Brunson doesn't have back-to-back bad games. And there's, that's why I got to believe, man. And just like how he doesn't have back-to-back games, there's a reason why. You got to trust Morgan & Morgan as America's largest industry law firm, all right? With over $25 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. In Florida, a client received $12 million after insurance company's best offer was just $350,000, and in Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million, a staggering 40 times the insurance company's original offer of $650,000. There's a reason why you choose Morgan & Morgan, all right? And why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people just like you and I. They have over 100 offices and more than over 1,000 lawyers nationwide, all right? When hiring Morgan & Morgan is like hiring an army that has your back. If you're injured by negligence or of another, you deserve to be paid, okay? So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. There's a fee. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/KFTV or dial #529 from your cell phone. All right, that's forthepeople.com/KFTV or #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Okay. Let's get back to the show, man. Let's get back to some of these calls. Blaze, what's going on, Blaze? Please unmute your mic. What's going on?
What's up, fellas? There's another disappointment tonight, man. I think it's just been like clear as day that Deuce has been a disappointment in the series. Like, we desperately need him to get confident and just start producing off the bench, get some big threes in the moment. And we also just got to be critical of Jalen tonight. This is his worst game of the series so far. He just wasn't efficient from the field. We saw him try to force those looks to Mitch, which was kind of like a head scratcher because he wasn't really doing that the whole regular season either. And I think the biggest thing that lost us this game was obviously shooting 59% from the free throw line. We hit a few more of those. That would have been the difference to close out this game with a win.
Yeah, for sure. The free throw line, the free throw disparity in this game where, the Knicks can't just even buy a free throw tonight is just awful. I mean, you need to be able to knock down those shots. That's what keeps you in these games. And look, Detroit knew what the assignment was when Mitchell Robinson was out there. They got him to the free throw line because they also know that if he's getting to the free throw line, missed shots, even though he's the best rim protector, you work him off the floor, man. So they knew exactly what they were doing. Yep.
Yeah, they took advantage. They did the hack a Mitch, I guess. But it seemed like he had been doing a lot of work in rehab, apparently, with shooting free throws and everything, but it just didn't look like it. He was just shooting lasers at the rim. It was terrifying.
Terrifying. I mean, man, it's he's been working. I don't know who. Like, look, man, I'm not gonna go there, but like, look, we just know that this is kind of Mitch's form. Hopefully, it gets better over time. I mean, he's been with the team for what 6-7 years now. It just kind of is what it is. I mean, we should just really expect Mitchell Robinson. When it comes to the free throw line, that it could be this. Sometimes it could be a good night. Like when he was playing against the Cavs, he was knocking him down. CK, I'm gonna knock him down. Was it? We need him to knock him down tonight. He didn't do that.
You did not do that.
Hey, that's all right. Knicks in 6. All right.
That's right, go. Boys. Knicks in 6. Appreciate the call, my man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Whew. Whew. All right, man.
So it was terrifying. I'm sorry. That was great. That's great. That's great.
We got some more super chats, man. Shout out to Stop the Panic for being a Fanchise channel member. Got a $2 super chat. Said Boston's looking scary. Hope we can clean it up. We got a $5 super chat from Kino. Shout out to the $5 super chat, my man. Said y'all need to stop panicking. It's the playoffs. We are better. We are the better team. We will win this series. Yeah, man. I believe we're gonna win this series too. Yeah, it's just infuriating. I don't know if he's talking to us, CK, or if he's just talking to the fan base at large. I'm not sure where he's going with that one, but yeah, look. I believe.
Yeah, right? There's no doubt on this panel. Yeah. We just mad about tonight.
Yeah, and we have every right to be upset. All right. And whoa, we got another $10 super chat from GQ. Shout out to you. Said this is starting to feel similar to last year's series against Indiana. We had a chance to put the nail in the coffin. Now their bodies are starting to fall apart. Please don't let this go to game 7. Man, if this thing goes to game 7.
Just please no. Okay. Please. All right.
For the love of God, I'll be sweating that entire day. I may need to call out of work. If that thing's during the weekday, I may need to call out of work. All right. We also got a $5 super chat from Lord Steven Stone. Said free throws, foul, and third quarter hurt us this game, but we will win the next one. Mitch had a good game, though. Just wish we could have won this one. Shout out to you, Lord Steven Stone. And hey, if you guys haven't noticed yet, TM's been doing the damn thing, man. TM has been working behind the scenes. If you have not noticed, if you're a Fanchise channel member, your logos are a little different now. If you're 1 month, you get to be blue. If you're 6 months, you get green. If you're 1 year, you get orange. If you're 2 years, you get red. If you're 3 years, you get purple. 4 years, you get silver. 5 years, you get the gold. All right, you get gold status. Look at that. Look at this. TM has been working behind the scenes, and this is a thank you for your support as always, okay? We understand what it means to you guys to support us. Or I should say, we appreciate your support. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, getting a little tongue twisted with everything that I got open on my screen right here. We appreciate your support. We understand. We don't take it for granted that you're giving us your hard-earned cash when you sign up to be a Fanchise channel member. We truly do appreciate everything and your guys' support of KFTV. It means a lot to us, and we just want to make sure that we're using that money properly and giving back to you. So appreciate your support as always. Okay.
And shout out to TM, man. Shout out to everybody that does the stuff behind the scenes that don't get enough attention and love. Shout out to y'all, man. Look at the KnicksFanTV crew doing it, bro.
Yeah, man. TM, everyone's doing the damn thing, man. We got TM, we got Tyler, all right. We got Daniel producing the show right now. Yeah, man. We got everybody, all right. We got Jalen running the newsletter. We got Jeff. We got Gamba. Shout out to Gamba.
Yeah.
We got everyone. We got Chris LeBron too, man. We got everybody doing the damn thing. We got Remy doing the damn thing with his recaps. All right. Shout out to Simon as well. Who else we got, man? Omar. Shout out to Omar as well. Omar's been putting out some fire articles too. Make sure to support, man. Make sure to go support the newsletter as well. There's a lot going on there too.
This is why the Pistons fans over here, because they ain't got nothing like that going on anywhere else, man. We got a crazy team over here.
Yeah, man. And look, we got all the other mods too, man. All the mods that are helping out, all right? All the regulars. Like JJ, man. Like John Talento, like Junior Caroma, Got everybody that's helping. So we appreciate all your support. All right. Let's get to another call. Let's see. Who we want to go to, man? Let's get to Knicks Fan for Life. Knicks Fan for Life. What's happening?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There's a loud echo going on back there.
CP, you
Ah.
got mute, brother.
How's it now? Better?
It's fine. It's fine. There we go. Now it's much
You're
better.
good.
Now it's much better. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. This is Jay from Jersey.
What up, Jay?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously a really bad loss. Look, to me, I think the Knicks have a bigger problem, and it's with Thibs. Just the way the Knicks operate offensively, it's never gonna work at the highest level. To me, it's too reliant on Jalen Brunson. It seems like it's either him or Cat in the post right now, and if one of them gets shut off, that's it. That's it. The possession goes to shit. And
Ooh, family show, my man. Watch the language. Family show.
Sorry,
But I
sorry.
understand the frustration.
the possession goes to whatever. So that's leading to bad offense. Where's the creativity? What was the point of trading for Cat? What was the point of trading for Bridges? What was the point of trading for OG? If our offense is going to look just as bad as it did 2 years ago when we played against Miami with Julius Randle. We were barely scoring 100 points then. We're barely scoring 100 points now. What are we doing offensively? What plays are we running? What off-ball actions do we run? Like, there is no creativity in this offense. And if you think that we're going to win a championship this way, then you're just being naive. They're going to get boat raced by Boston. Let's say they even beat Detroit, which, by the way, Detroit deserves to win this series. They were better in game 1 besides one quarter. They won game 2. They were right there in game 4 and they won game 5. Like, this series could easily be 4-1 Detroit. So they're not even convincing against Detroit. And I'm just wondering, what was the point of these trades if we're barely surviving against a team that is clearly worse than us talent-wise? And that leads me to my second point, and this is the bigger issue too, is, Leon Rose, when we talk about, trading for Mikal Bridges, right? That was supposed to take us over the top. We are right now, at best, a second-round team. So, where exactly are we going with this team is what I'm wondering. Because, you got to either move on from Thibs and hope that another coach can take this team to the next level, or you got to make more trades. Because one thing I can tell you is, if guys like Giannis become available, we don't have the assets to go get them anymore. So we are locked into this team, and that's what's frustrating me more, is because regardless of the outcome of this series, I think we all know what's going to happen against Boston. It's not going to be pretty. And then the question is, how are we getting better? Is it going to be just moving on from the coach and, hiring a guy like Mike Malone and hoping that works? Or do we have to make more trades? Because what I'm seeing in this series is the clear flaws that Thibs has shown consistently in the playoffs. He does not maximize talent to the highest level. So this series proves clearly that he's not a championship level coach.
Hey,
I'm just going to leave it at that. Thanks for having me on. But
hey, appreciate the call, Knicks fan. Rate that call in the chat. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. How do you all feel about Knicks fan for life's call? CP's already put up the 1. He's not happy. He's not feeling it. Welcome to the captain for joining the show. All right, CP, you're giving him a 1. All right, man. I see that. I see that. Some people are putting 0. Some people are throwing tomatoes. Some people are putting 5s.
Some people loved it.
Listen,
Yeah, man.
listen, man. Am I live? Check 1, check 2.
You are live and direct, good sir.
They're saying you're live. Yes.
I mean, I gotta get into the game, but Knicks fan for life. Like, we talking all these Giannis talk. Listen, man. Giannis is gonna be listening to this in Cancun. We can't always, on a win it's the players, but on the loss it's the coach. No, the players did not take the game tonight. Period. I went into this. Shout out to CK. Great job on the play-by-play. Shout out to Al. Great job on hosting tonight. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to the team. Okay? This is elimination time. It is not easy. You have to go out there and take it. Right? This is the same coach team that won 2 in Detroit. Okay? Right? We wasn't talking all this, let's go out there and get Giannis in games 3 and game 4. You have to go out there and take it amongst the elements. And the elements are, you're going to get the best shot from the opposing team, which wasn't even all that great. Let's be honest. You got to take your best shot from the way the game is called, which was very tight. We expected, I did at least. I can't speak for everyone. I expected it. You got to go out there and take it. And this Knicks team did anything but tonight. They did not earn their way to wrapping up this series. They got what they deserved, and they did not go out and take the game. You let this bum team keep themselves in the game and go out there and steal a win tonight. This Knicks team got exactly what they deserved. You got to earn it, man. It's elimination time. We threw the same clip out there from Big Perk from last year. I asked him, why is the elimination game so tough? And everything that he said in that clip from last year in the Knicks, when the Knicks couldn't close out Philly, was the same thing. You didn't bring your A game to start. You didn't finish quarters well. You played lazy on both sides of the ball. You leave it up to the referees. And here we go, helter-skelter at the end, and you can't close. They played soft again. Killer instinct. Where is it with this team? I almost wish they played this 5th game in Detroit. Real talk. Real talk, man.
For real. Oh, for real.
I'm telling y'all, man. Like, I had more confidence in games 3 and game 4 than I did tonight.
Facts.
Every person I ran into from the watch party, shout out to everybody at the Ainsworth. The rooftop was popping. Watch party's popping. Got to the garden. Everybody was like, yo, what do you think? Yo, we got this. Yo, Knicks in 5. I said, yo, let's see. Let's see. They have to go out there and set the tone. They didn't do it. Right off the rip, they were down 9-2 in the game. And I said, all right, here we go. Here we go. Let's just see. You know, and look, I didn't think Detroit played their best. This almost played like a regular season game between the two teams. But you know, for the Knicks, like I'm not surprised at the result. But it's just disappointing, man. You know, Boston and Orlando was in the half, and it was either a tie game or Orlando might have been up by 2. Look at the result. Boston took care of business, leaving no doubts. There it goes, the result. 30 points. After halftime, it was tied. By the third quarter, they was up by 30. You need your rest. You need to recalibrate. And instead of doing that, you go through the motions. Let this team hang in the game. You know how it's going to be called. I went into pregame. I ran a shout out to Han Solo. I ran into Han Solo, Monica, and Tyler. The 3 of us and wifey, the 4 of us is there having a powwow. What do we think? And Han Solo said this. I hope they don't leave it to the refs to call it. Because Han Solo felt the same way I felt. You know the refs are going to call it tight, man. You know it. And I'm not blaming this on refs. You know me. I don't do that. Because I know I've been watching the playoffs for 30-some-odd years. I know how game 2 is going to go when you up 1-0. I know how the closeout game is going to go. You have to fight through all of that and go earn it. They did not take the game, man. So you got what you got. You got what you deserve. And now you got to go to Detroit and go earn it again. Just like last year in Philly. Just like last year against Philly, Al, when they let Maxey come through with the heroics. It was almost the same thing. Tight game. I don't know what happened. I'm still waiting to get the word on what happened with JB and Hart in those last sequences in terms of their injuries. But at the end of the day, it should have never came down to that. Duran was in foul trouble. Countingham was in foul trouble. Like, this was like regular season vibes. And you still couldn't take the game. So it was just disappointing, man. That's my thing. It was just a disappointing outcome because they just, they came out flat and they just could not overcome all the odds tonight. They didn't take it, man. They didn't take it.
Yo, CK and I were just talking. Like, we were frustrated as soon as we opened the show, man. We feel the same. At least I feel the same sentiments where it's like you just saw it like from the jump where Thompson's just getting to the free throw line. He's being physical. Like, they went away from the game plan that they did they didn't go to Cat, man. They did not go to Cat, which worked in games 3 and 4. They did not go to him early enough.
Go to Bodega.
And it's like, why go away from something that was working in the last 2 games? Why are we switching things up? But to your point, this is like why I had it's why I had concerns, man. This is why I chose the Knicks in 6, because the attention to detail, the readiness, the level of aggression with this team weans too much, man. It wanes too much. I mean, it's like it's all there in games 3 and 4, and then it goes away in game 5. It's like, dude, you gotta go want to snatch this team's lunch. You got to go out there and want to go kill him, man. Like, this team shot like ish tonight. And yet, for as bad as they shot, CP, for as bad as they shot, look, for the first, this is how crazy it is, okay? In the first half, like, guys, this is what's so infuriating about this team. In the first half, the Pistons shot 28% from downtown. They shot 40%, not even 40. They shot 39% from the field in the first half. And yet this was a 1-point lead for the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
1. Like, what does that say? What does that say about your team if you cannot go out there and be ready to just close the door, shut it, and just say, we're done, man. On to the next one. Let's get ready for the next series. And this is my thing, man, is that, I still got confidence that this team can win in 6. Nothing changed about that. This team does have the talented roster, but now you have to go expend energy again. Then you're wasting more time to get ready for Boston. And it's like you have less time to rest. Now you got guys dealing with injuries. Every single game you have JB tweaking that right ankle tonight. I don't know if you saw it, CP. I don't know if you saw the clip, but that court caved in when he took a step. The floor actually bubbled in. And so he did not get a firm footing on the court. And so it's like, now we got to deal with this. Now we got to deal with Josh Hart being hurt too. And look, we don't really have a bench. We're not using those guys. It's Mitch and Deuce.
It's Mitch and Deuce. What Cam do tonight? Let me see what Cam
Nothing.
did.
Nothing. Don't waste your time.
He didn't do much, He didn't do much.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and take it, man. That's just bottom line. And look, we're at the point of the series. Both teams are worn down. They're tired, all of that. You got to weather the storm. And the Knicks just didn't do that. Like, again, so many self-inflicted things. Not feeding Bodega. How many times are you going to force feed Mitchell Robinson like he's Akeem Olajuwon? How do you guys how do we at home know that Mitch has no hands and these guys are throwing lobs up to him?
We talked about that, bro.
What are you doing?
Yeah, don't get that started again.
I'm watching it on my own end. Like, what are we doing?
In consecutive possession, CP. It's not like they did it every now. Man.
Bro, like,
there had to be like 4 possessions. There had to be 4 or 5 possessions.
Forcing it to Mitch. From McCall throwing it, or it was McCall or Josh throwing it from mad far. OG
McCall
throwing it from the other side of the court. Like, how y'all don't know your mans? And we know. I'm not making that pass. Alex is not making that pass. CK is not making that pass. Like 3 times they forced it to Mitch like that. Come on, man. Now they did make it up for him. They did catch him with a lob. I think it was either McCall or Josh. Again, it's Josh, and they got him. That was nice. And I thought Mitch overall had a good game.
He did.
He did, man. Yeah.
But it's just like, things like that. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing?
At home, CP. That's the part that kills me the most, man.
Right.
It kills me the most. We're talking about the free throw percentage. Me and Alex were talking about how you shooting 59% in the place where you're not getting not one F-bomb, not one family show word thrown your direction. You're getting MVP chance. You're getting cheers. You're hyping yourself up, and we're missing free throws, man. It's so backwards, man.
It's like I said, man, I almost wish this was back in Detroit. They probably
would have played harder.
They would have won in Detroit.
Hey, CP, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Man, the minute you saw it,
Garden was trash tonight.
That's what I was gonna say. You probably should have started cussing out JB. JB needs to get cussed out. He's one of those guys. JB needs to get cussed out. That's when he plays
between bro, my section was like a library. It was terrible, bro. Terrible. But even beyond, nobody up, closeout game. It was like regular season vibes all the way around. Yeah. My section was trash. Section 102, shout out to everybody that was in 102. We had a couple of, KFTV fans and whatnot. But we had so many people that was in just regular clothes, corporate clothes, street clothes. Nobody in Knicks gear, nobody standing up, nobody rocking any towels that they gave out. Garden vibes was terrible in this game. But nevertheless, players play, and they didn't take it. But MSG was weak. It was weak tonight, bro.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
Was it so you were there by because he's had fans outside watching on the TV too, right? Was that more popping?
Yeah, I went from the watch party because we got our own watch party. I know we got our shout out to the Garden. Everybody was outside and everything. We was at our own watch. Ainsworth was popping. The roof was popping.
I'm sure.
I had to, set the tone. We opened up the roof. It was nice. The weather was beautiful. A lot of KFTV day one. Shout out to my man from Australia that came through. We had a KFTV day one from Melbourne, came through, and then we went to the game. Shout out to Tony Nicks, Thanos from Knicks Twitter. Yeah, we had Ogarita. We had a lot of Knicks Twitter alums come through. Knicks Twitter regulars was there at the up on the roof. Shout out to Ty Clemens. Shout out to Ty. Yeah, Ty was there at the Ainsworth. So the roof was popping. We had a good vibe. But yeah, so we went from there to the Garden. But the Garden overall, man, the energy at the Garden was just whack.
Crazy.
It was whack,
man. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. In our section, me and wifey was looking like, yo, like literally 3 rows ahead of us. You couldn't see no Nick gear. It was just like
what?
That is just
crazy, it's just bro. Like sweater vests and jeans. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, are y'all coming to the library or are y'all coming to the game? Nobody's standing up. But me and wifey had to set the stand-up tone. Like, all right, we're gonna stand up and wave our towels for the team here. It was dead tonight.
That's sad, man.
Yeah, the vibe was not there like game 1 and game 2. It was almost like the players, the players are tired. They went through a whole battle, first 4 games. It was almost like the fans almost carried that same energy, Yeah, it was one of those things, man. But
can't be taking a nap at Madison Square Garden, man. That ain't right.
Yeah,
Imagine.
It was weird. It was very, very touristy corporate vibes tonight. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't like that at all.
Yeah. Who we got on the calls, Al? Who we got?
A lot.
We got Sayquizzy.
Okay.
So Sayquizzy, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
The Knicks just love to hurt my heart. Can't sleep like a baby tonight. But the energy just fell off today. It's like starting the game, it was not the same with the first 2 Pistons games we played in Detroit. We was going off early. We was getting Cat the ball early, hit him in the post. He'll score first, and probably we'll take off, and then Pistons got to come back. This one just felt off. We was doing turnovers. We was waiting too long to do our plays. It was just looking rough. And then, the Mitchell Robinson, he had a great game. Gave us something off the bench. But why we give him the ball in the post? I love Mitchell Robinson, but don't give him the ball in the post. Let him just do his rebounds and putbacks. Let him kick the ball out.
The forcing to him, they just now figured out.
I don't know how they don't know that. It's either you just do a lob, to him, and that's it. Let him get a rebound and do a putback himself. Don't give him the ball in no post. And like the third quarters, it was not as bad, but it's like, Knicks, you gotta wake up in the third. What is going on? Every time we start the third, we end up down. Like
Yeah, every
other
time you
teams,
start the third, it's lackluster, man.
no matter what team play us, it's just like that team get it clicking and we just can't score.
Yeah,
And then the free throws, we're home and we shooting bricks.
right,
Like
right.
we got the goals,
And
so
that's
it's like
the thing, man. It's like, like last goal of Thibs. Every time the loss, it's on Thibs. Every time they win, you don't hear a peep. It's always the players are great. Yo, man, they didn't deliver tonight.
yeah, to me, it's everybody. Everybody's getting the blame on this
They
game.
didn't deliver tonight.
You leaving Thompson open for dunks. Like,
Yeah.
bro, haven't scored not even close to 15 points, but we giving him open dunks. He don't shoot the ball, so just don't let him dunk the ball. Then we got Durant getting easy rebounds because Cat keep trying to help out, even though he got 5 fouls. You keep helping out, and guess what? He's right there to get a rebound, do an easy putback. To me, those two is the reason why we lost in free throws. Because to me, Detroit didn't even have a game where I'd be like, yo, they won this one. They won all.
Nothing about them was impressive tonight. That's how bad the Knicks were tonight. That's how bad they were tonight.
McBride, he got to make his shots. I love him. I believe him, but it's not that much things you could do.
Yeah,
if you get
those bricking, man. Those is bricking.
Open looks. Even Bridges, he I don't know. He always,
oh my God, bro.
He always brick early, and then like third and fourth quarter, he start making the more difficult shots.
The Bridges turnover when he was literally right there. You could just
yes.
And he passed it behind the back like he was Harlem.
Oh my God.
That was right in front of me.
I went off on play-by-play for that.
It was right in front of me. Like, bro, come on. Like, when I saw that, I said, nah, they're not winning the game, bro. They're not serious tonight.
He just made 2 mid-rangers before that. So it's not like, he just made a few shots. And now all of a sudden you want to pass out of it. Like, it was just, it's terrible.
When I saw Bridges pass out of a layup.
Yeah, man. That's a wrap.
Over a guy that was, I don't even know who was guarding him, but even if it was Jalen Duran, which it wasn't, it wouldn't have mattered. That when I see him pass up a layup in layup range and throw a behind the back pass that nobody was there for, and it ended up being a turnover, I said, nah, these guys not serious tonight, man. We lose.
One last thing I gotta say before I get off. Like, if we get past this, we win 6. Well, don't get it to 7 because I'm gonna be nervous because we haven't won in New York to close out a game. But Bridges, McBride, Hart, they got to make their open shots if we're going to compete with Boston. Because on the other side, if Derek White wide open, guess what? He's knocking that down. If Porzingis wide open, he's knocking that down. Those guys don't really miss open shots. And Bridges be missing a lot of open shots, and then he makes the more fadeaway contested shots. I don't understand that one.
But the problem is, man, like, look, the mid-range is very efficient. It's very strong. It's nice. It's cool when it's going in. But sometimes it's like, man, when you pass up just like layups are going strong to the hole. I didn't even look at the box score. How many free throw attempts did Mikal Bridges take tonight?
How many free throw attempts? Give me
just
1 second.
Just 2, and he was 1 for 2.
Yikes.
And it's just like, it's just so frustrating, man. He was literally, I was right in front. He's right by the basket. For just chuck it up with one hand. He goes for a one-hand pass.
Yeah.
And he turns into a turnover.
Right into the defender's hand, yeah.
I think Tobias Harris might have stole the ball. And then we want to go out there and blame Thibs for playing soft.
You don't think Thibs deserves any blame in this game at all?
In what way? I mean, you tell me. What you think?
You don't think the last couple of minutes with with Brunson and Hart waiting to check in, not using the last timeout just to get those guys out on the court with 1:30 to go. You don't think Thibs deserves that blame?
What happened to them? I don't know what happened to them. They got hurt. Why were they not?
But they were at the scores table waiting to check in.
Yeah.
I'll one up you too. You think him bringing in Campaign and Deuce in instead of maybe Mitch and Deuce would have probably been a better decision.
Well, Cam, I'm never really looking at Cam to come in.
That's what it's in the fourth quarter with what? It was like what 5 minutes left in the game at that point, and he brought
when I
so
saw
much
Cam,
nonsense.
I'm like, wait, where? I was when Hart got hurt, I was like, all right, bring in Deuce. I didn't know Brunson got hurt. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when I saw Cam, I'm like, wait, why is Cam even in the game at this point? Then I saw JB, like, he's rocking back and forth on the baseline. I'm like, bro, what is happening with Cap? What's going on there? Again, I don't have anything on what happened there. Well, yeah.
All I know is that they checked out. They were both at the end of the bench getting looked at by the trainer. But then they moved up to the scorers table to check back in with 1:30 to 2 minutes to go. And Thibs is waiting for somebody to foul, not necessarily purposely foul, but for there to be a stoppage in time. And the clock winds down so much that now you insert these guys with under a minute to go to get back in this game. And I'm like, yo, we had one timeout. You just got to use it, man, because it was close. And then next thing you know, Cade gets a layup. Duran gets an easy putback. They went on a small little run. Now you're up by like 5-6 points, and it's like, all right. To CK's point, why wasn't Mitch out there to get rim protection? Cat has 5 fouls. You can't leave him as a sole rim protector. That doesn't make any sense. Campaign hasn't been really feeling anything since game 1, and it's like now these guys are ready to check back in, and we're just waiting. Look, everyone deserves the blame tonight, man. Yeah. Even the head coach. Coach.
Where were they? I don't see. I gotta watch the game. Where were they in relation to the bonus though?
To the bonus?
I don't think Detroit was in bonus at that point yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
I don't think so.
No doubt.
They're pretty sure they had a foul to spare, but they didn't want to use it. They wanted to save that timeout just in case. Yeah,
I'd rather use the timeout. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just all over the place from the tip, man. Like you said, going out the way you start the game with that kind of energy. I don't know what it sounded like in there, but at least on TV, it felt like the energy was high in the beginning, right before tip, right?
Yeah.
And then both teams just going back and forth, missing everything, but we missed more than the Pistons, and I just feel like we never really recovered from it.
Okay, so KG74, they said they were in the bonus by that point when the guys were waiting to check back in.
Okay. All right.
So still call a timeout. The point still stands. Still should have called a timeout because he still ended up calling the timeout anyways. After, to Alex's point, Cade scored. Duran scored.
Let's read that Begley comment. Begley tweet. What do he say there?
Said Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson were set to check back in the game with Knicks down 4, but New York Knicks didn't call a timeout. They have 1 left and didn't foul. Detroit is in the bonus. Detroit scored, so Brunson and Hart return to the court with 27 seconds to play, and Knicks down 6.
Yeah, so they were down 4 at that point, basically.
Yeah.
They were down 4.
They were down 4.
Yeah.
So your top 2 guns that you need in there, you don't have them in there, and you have 2 guys that are struggling, and you don't have any rim protection. Because let's remember, Cat was also with 5 fouls, and now he has to guard Duran, and he can't really put that much pressure on Duran because he'll foul out.
Yeah.
Hey, man, everyone deserves the blame tonight. That's just a frustrating loss, man. Too many baffling decisions, man. Too many baffling decisions.
Baffling.
Self-inflicted, as CP says.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Let's go some more calls, man. Who else we got here, man?
Well, who do you want, man? I'm going to give you the option. Do you want STG Nick? You want LD? Ashwin? Anthony? Who do you want?
Let's go to LD, man.
There we go. I knew it. I
want to talk to LD. Let's go.
DPB capping.
Here we go. Let's go.
Capping for the coach I see. CP. Look at you, bro.
This guy's
Come on, bro. Come on, CP. Stop the cap.
Let's go.
It's the coach. I have a couple of questions.
It's the coach's fault that these guys let
the coach,
a lackluster Detroit team stay in this game And it's a
Yes,
coach's.
CP. Hey, let me ask you a question, CP. I'm going to ask you overall in this series.
Yeah.
Who's been a better coach?
Tom Thibodeau. Well,
Oh,
absolutely.
you're right. Okay,
What
so
do you
let me
mean?
give you a couple of
What do
points.
you mean?
Let me give you
How
let me
many
give you a couple of
challenges
points.
did JB Bickerstaff take in the first half and lose? All of them. What are you
We're
talking
going
about?
to use
What are you
hold on.
talking
We're going to use challenges as a
about?
coaching
No, I'm gonna
conversation.
go with the team that's up by 3-1. I'm gonna
Hold
go
on,
back
hold on,
to
hold on,
15
hold
years.
on.
What are you talking about? So
Let
now
me tell you a couple
you're
things.
gonna say that JB Bickerstaff has been a better coach in this series? Rate that.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Let's talk about it. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
Right
Now
I'm gonna tell you
you're absolutely out of your mind.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
The Knicks have the 4th highest payroll in the entire NBA.
That has nothing to do with anything. Talk
Hold
about
on.
Let's go.
I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
The Knicks have the 4th highest payroll in the NBA.
Okay.
Guess where the Pistons rank?
What does that have
Dead
to do with
last.
the series?
And
What does
I'm
that
going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
The Pistons' current roster is the Knicks roster last season in round 2 against the Indiana Pacers when everyone was injured. One All-Star and a bunch of role players.
Okay.
They're not supposed to be in the playoffs. They are overachieving.
The chat right now is giving you tomatoes, my guy.
The chat doesn't bother me. You know what? The chat doesn't bother me because before you got onto this call, the chat was all blaming the coach and Mitch. Now that you're on this call,
that's natural. It's natural. Every game, the players are the heroes. Every loss, the coach is the bum.
You know that's not me. You know that's not me. You know that's not me. You know that's not me.
I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying it's natural. Whenever they win, the coaches, no one talks about the coach. Whenever they lose, it's always his fault.
I am the guy. I'm the guy who calls in. I'm the guy who calls in even in a win. And I say, this is still not a good brand of basketball. I'm that guy. I'm not scared of the comments are scared of CP's opinion. They go wherever CP goes. I don't mind.
That's not
It's
true.
facts.
That's not true at all.
It's facts.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. That's
do you know? I have a question for you though. Sir Thompson's career high is 22 points. You know how many points he scored tonight? 22 points. You know how many of those are easy baskets? 22 points.
And that's
you know who can do that?
These guys,
bro. Absolutely. You know, here's something I want to do with an eye test, and anybody in the comments can agree or disagree. When you look at a Sir Thompson, I can guarantee you've watched every Knicks game today, and you haven't seen our players get easy baskets like that consistently. You know who can do what a Sir Thompson did every night? OG Anunoby. You know who doesn't get space like he does? OG Anunoby. Because the coach, we always have this conversation, CP. Coach Thibodeau, what's up with you, bro? Blame the coach.
Why? Why? But LD, did you call in games 3 and 4? Did you give the coach credit and for anything?
No,
did you blame
I called in game 4. No,
did you blame the coach for anything for 3 and 4?
You can go back and watch. I called game 4 when we won.
I was not there.
I know what I did.
I was not there.
I talked to you after game 4.
Okay.
I called in. After a win, and I said, CP, why do we still struggle to get an offense?
Okay,
that was after a win.
Yes, I got that part.
I don't cap. It's a fact. We know what we're looking at, CP. I'm gonna sing for you before I go again. CPB King. I'm gonna holler at you, bro.
So the loss is always on the coach.
Always and forever, bro.
It's always
and forever.
Right?
Always and forever.
So when they force feed
LD. LD, is that Usher? LD, is that Usher you singing? Yeah, I was trying to figure it out what it was. All right,
CP knows. It's a CP song. CPB can
I had to figure out. I was trying to figure out what the song was. Okay. Go ahead, LD. All right.
Hey, rate LD's all in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. LD says the chat always agrees with me. I don't agree with that at all. I think LD's wrong on that. But hey, like I said, when they win, it's about the players and the hero, blah, 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 blah. When they lose, tips. Listen, man, I saw a team out there that gave lackluster effort on both ends of the court. I saw a team that was bumming it up. I saw a team that was turning the ball over, throwing the ball over, giving the other team chances. I saw a team that was out there, hey, listen, the referees are going to call it like they want to call it. It's a different crew every game. If they were calling it tight, and the Knicks went out there and earned this loss. Y'all want to put it on the coach because, late second, where was JB, where was Josh? Bro, it shouldn't even come down to that. It should not have even come down to that. But hey, listen, like I said, I'm used to it. Every loss is always on the coach. I get it. It's always on the coach. Look at the box score tonight. Let's take a look at the box score tonight.
Hey, man, I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, isn't the head coach watching and saying, hey, why aren't we getting Cat the ball? Brunson, it's not your night. Let's figure out something else going on.
Okay. Your top 2 players went 19 for 30 tonight. Your top 2 players, I'll say it again, your top 2 players went 19 of 30 tonight. 9 of 30, sorry. 9 of 30, even worse. 5 for 14 for Towns, 4 of 16 for Brunson. All right. Now, Thibs is out there shooting with the guys. Okay. Got it. Thibs is out there shooting with the squad. Okay. We got that.
Loving this, man.
So it's a coach's fault that these guys can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's a coach's fault that they're out there throwing lobs to Mitchell Robinson like he's Shaquille O'Neal. When me, you, Stevie Wonder, your mama, and your cousin too can see that he has no hands. That's all I'm saying. And now, why wasn't Brunson and Towns in the crunch? It should not even come down to that. Handle your handles, man. Why is it that these guys are ready for a dogfight out in Detroit? 3 and 4, we're not even thinking about Thibs. Because they went out there and got what they had to do. They did what they had to do. They didn't do that tonight, man.
But nothing about this offense says, hey, it could be a little bit better.
It can always be better when it's going wrong.
But even, let me ask you this, and I'm going to play devil's advocate for this one.
Yeah.
To LD's point, to the other, who I forget the other caller name for talking about Thibs. We're looking at these games. It's close battles. We've seen this offense go and just be on another level. Isn't there something where it says, hey, can we do a little bit more than just constantly go to ISO? I mean, even tonight where we go away from Cat getting the ball early. Why are we going away from that? How come there's at what point are you going to say the coach has to put his hand, make his mark and say, you know what, guys, we're calling a timeout. Y'all ain't doing it. All right. Yeah. You are not keeping up with the game plan that we did last game and executing to that level. And also, isn't the coach supposed to be a motivator of men too? What is he saying? I'm just asking the questions, man.
Listen. You got to go out there and execute, man. They didn't. They did not. I like the Dogs game tonight. The Dog had it going tonight.
Yeah, but they went away from him. That was my issue.
They
went completely away from him.
So then, CP, if we're going away from the Dog, who's to tell him to go back to the Dog?
Bro, listen, man. Are all the Lakers ills JJ Redick's problems? They're down 3-1, right? They got LeBron James, Luka Doncic, right? Are there problems, all them? Is it JJ? Is JJ Redick the problem? I'm just asking the questions here.
Here we go.
I'm just a conductor asking the questions. Are the Lakers?
Or is Nico Harrison right about Luka Doncic?
Hey, right? They got 2 of the best in the game.
Or
or
did the Timberwolves make the right moves? Ooh, we could go that direction too.
I think the Timberwolves did make the right move. The Timberwolves are looking great right now. But I think the Timberwolves are looking like a great team. Yeah, listen, man. When everything is coasting in 3 and 4, nobody called it in talking about that. Okay, but outside of LD, nobody's talking about the coach. I didn't see nothing tonight. Where's the coach? I saw a team that came out flat. They played flat, and they got what they deserved. That's what I saw. It's the same offense every game. It's the same offense every game. They made the adjustments in 3. They got the ball movement going.
Mm-hmm.
They got the big bodega going. It's the players out there on the court executing. Again, go to the box score. What did your 2 best players shoot tonight? Jalen Brunson, 4 of 16. Karl-Anthony Towns, 5 of 14. 16 points for Brunson, 17 for Towns. Mitch led the bench. 13 points for Mitch. Nice job by Mitchie.
Finally, something came off. Something good from the bench.
Mitch did his thing. He did his job. He did great.
Oh boy. Bench. In quotes.
Look, man. Again, it's the same thing every time.
But look, I mean,
the players are heroes when they lose. The coach caused us to lose. All right, well.
You could say everyone caused to lose this one, but I feel like even when you look at this thing offensively, like, man, like we're like, it's not blaming just Thibs in the last minute 30. You got to look at the entirety, as what Bryce and I talked about yesterday, man. It's the entirety. When we're looking at this team and their offense and how it's constructed and how it's just very choppy, and that look, even the games that they won, it was moments. And why is it that we're having the same thing happen in every third quarter? I mean, every third quarter. Is it just like, and why is it that we go away from what was working in the first half? So who outside of the players, what responsibility do we put on the coach? Do we just say, all right, man, you do the practices, you talk a little bit to them, you do all of this, and then we just walk away from it and say, hey, the players didn't do the damn thing anyway. It's like, look, man, I just find it hard to believe that we can't expect more from the head coach and say, you know what? Something's got to give at some point.
Bro, in a game like tonight where the score is 106 to 103, you got to make your shots, man. You got to make better decisions, man. This team was woeful across the board, including your free throws. Free. You shot 16 to 27 from the charity stripe. Is that Thibs' fault? That's execution, my guys.
Actually, I'll tell you whose fault it is. They put Mitch to the line 7 times.
He did, yeah. Mitch, he could not make a free throw. Yeah.
The next guy after Brunson who took 10 was Mitchell Robinson with 7.
That's true. Mitch did go 3 of 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
But overall, as a team, they won 16 to 27, my guys.
I mean, Miles, McBride went 0 of 2. Bridges went 1 of 2. Cat went 5 of 6. Brunson went 7 of 10. I mean, really, if we take away Mitchell Robinson, the free throw shooting looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit better.
Listen, man, he's out there, right? You want Mitchie out there?
This is the issue though when you put Mitchell Robinson out there. But yes,
it is. Gotta accept it all.
Gotta accept it, man.
You gotta accept it all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CPJ, Alex, CK in the building, man.
CP's upset with me, man. Now you see, I got CP flustered over the coach talk.
Riled up.
It's not even the coach talk, man. They should have just closed it out.
Facts.
Should have closed it out, man.
They should.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing. I was like, man, I don't know if these guys can close out tonight. Literally everyone I spoke to, like, how you feel? Like, let's see. Let's see what happens. I didn't say that in 3 and 4. I was very confident in 3 and 4.
They always play loose, man. When it comes to a closeout game, they're always loose.
Yeah,
always
loose.
Look, what's funny? That you mentioned that you feel better about them playing in Detroit. Even when they took out the Cavs in 5, they were in Cleveland when they won. It's like, hey, we don't got to be home for this.
Yep.
Pressure's on Cleveland now. Can they do it? Yep. And that's why they got to do it tomorrow, man. Because the pressure is on Detroit now. And look, in these games, the shooting just keeps going from good to bad to worse to ugly, and
Ugh.
I don't know how much more ugly it can get than what they did tonight, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Don't say that out loud. They're gonna say hold my beer.
oh my
Don't-
God.
Don't do that.
Listen, man, you got to get the job done. And speaking of jobs, shout out to our sponsors of tonight, man. Shout out to LinkedIn. LinkedIn Talent Solutions, man. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. So for you guys that own a business out there, make sure that you're posting your jobs to new talent on LinkedIn, man. Trust and believe. We found some great talent here on KnicksFanTV through LinkedIn. It's a very easy to use interface. It's very interactive. You can go out there and shoot out to your network, you know, the jobs that you're looking for, or if you're hiring, you can notify your network that you are hiring. So that's why I like LinkedIn, because it's very easy to use, it's very intuitive, and it kind of fits in that overall social network that LinkedIn is. And so make sure that you guys are using it, because 72% of small and medium-sized businesses using LinkedIn says that LinkedIn helps them find high-quality candidates. So listen, man, find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn and post it for free on linkedin.com/KFTV. That's linkedin.com/KFTV. Post your job for absolutely free 99. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's get to the callers out. Who else we got left, man? Who we got?
We got quite a bit, man. We got a line of people.
All right, let's load them up. Go ahead.
Let's go to STG Nick, man. STG Nick, what's happening?
STG.
What's up? What's up? That's a tough loss. And CP, I'm with you. I mean, for a closeout game at the Garden, first time in 26 years we can do it, coming off of an exciting game 3 and game 4. That was the energy we saw in the building. That was definitely disappointing. Glad it wasn't just me that thought that, for sure. Besides the little run they made there at the end of the game to cut it down, I thought overall was definitely underwhelming. But I think this game was a lot on the energy. I mean, to start the second half, they were up by 1 going into the third quarter. You got to go. They were up by 1. It was 50-49. You got a chance to close them out, and then the Pistons come out way more hungry than the Knicks did. They went on a 10-3 run, and then that allowed them to get back in front. And then the Knicks did, tie it 95-95, but then it just fell apart because I was in 116, which was like across in the Knicks bench. And they turn it over. Towns hits the deep 3 to tie it, and then Brunson's just sitting in the backcourt. He's not moving. I was confused as to what happened. And then the next play down, Durant gets the dunk, and then Josh Hart's on the floor. And then they both get subbed out, and then that kind of killed the momentum. But like you said, like this should never even have gotten to that point. So I'm hoping that they are able to regroup and just close this out on Thursday to get at least a little bit of rest before heading into the second round for sure.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to STG, man. STG. So to you for the stadium report. I was there as well, man. Shout out to STG. Let's go to Way Too Melo. Way Too Melo. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What up, y'all?
How you feel?
I'm all right. I just want to say I feel like I need to mentally prepare everybody in here because I see everybody's ripping Tom Thibodeau up.
Yeah.
And the real, I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves right now, but I need to make everybody understand right now. We're never going to know what this team is truly going to be until Josh Hart is moved back to the bench. And I love Josh Hart, and I mean this respectfully. Everybody needs to mentally prepare for Josh Hart going back to the bench. The man cannot shoot, and it kills the spacing on our offense. We cannot run the pick and rolls we want because Josh Hart they completely ignore him on the offensive side of the ball. All right, and it kills the spacing. And I don't know why everybody acts like OG Anunoby is LeBron James, because he's not. All right, he's not the ball handler you guys think he is. Jalen Brunson is clearly the only ball handler we have on the court that can make things happen. He's the only one that gets genuine penetration. So all this talk about Tom Thibodeau, we missed 1,000 wide open shots tonight. We can't run the pick and roll. As much as I love Josh Hart,
So wait, hang on.
He cannot hit 3-pointers. He cannot be the starting 2 guard.
Hang on.
We're going to win a championship.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, are you not blaming this on Thibs? Why are you not blaming this on Thibs?
Tom Thibodeau does have his issues when it comes to the bench, and it's not like people say because our bench sucks. It's not that he doesn't want to play the bench. It's that our bench is terrible. Campaign is not good, and we all know it.
Okay.
All right, we're still going to win this series, but I'm talking about going into the future. Josh Hart cannot be the starting shooting guard for a championship team. We need somebody. We needed a 4 of 6 3-point game from Josh Hart tonight. All right, they completely ignore him. It makes everybody else's life harder on defense. I mean, on offense. The whole point of getting Cat is to have spacing. But when they guard him with Tobias and they put Jalen Duran, the center, on Josh Hart, and he says, "I'm just going to sit in the paint. I don't care who gets to the rim. I don't care if they do leave Josh Hart wide open." Mikal Bridges bricking wide open threes tonight. Wide open threes. Every time we need him to turn an 8-point lead into 11, brick. Every time we need him to turn 11-point lead to 14, brick. He had a couple of good shots the other night. I'll give him that. But it's not on Tom Thibodeau to hit shots. If we hit more free throws tonight, we win. If we hit more wide open 3-pointer shots tonight, we win. Tom Thibodeau does have to be better. And CP does. If people need to stop acting like CP is just letting Tom Thibodeau off the hook. CP is the voice of the people. He tells people what we need to know. Don't act like he doesn't call people out when they need it.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I'm just a conductor, man.
My son came in here with an Usher song, acting like, you know what I mean? That song was terrible, first of all. That song was terrible, first of all, and it's capped. CP tells it how it is. So everybody needs to stop trying to act like it's only Tom Thibodeau. Josh Hart, terrible tonight. We cannot play with him missing threes, with him being a non-factor on offense the way he is. I'm sorry I had to rant real quick.
Nah, it's all good, man.
I'm tired of hearing about Tom Thibodeau when he misses wide open shots.
The channel is for, man. This is what the channel is for, man.
It's insane.
Bring that call in the chat, man. Good people.
A bunch of free throws miss, a bunch of 3-pointers miss. Grow up.
Let's go.
Y'all have a good night, man.
Let's go. Too Melo's going. He's going at the chat. I didn't ask him to call in. He just called in on his own volition. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I did not ask that man to call. He just called in on his own.
That stack of money keeps getting smaller and smaller right behind you, man.
He didn't have to track the song though. That was too far. LD came in here, was creative.
LD. Yeah. LD was on his American Idol vibe. I actually liked the song.
You know what I mean? Like, let him.
Yeah. The song was cool.
Shout out to Daniel for having Usher on the big screen.
He did. Shout out to LD. Shout out to everybody, man. Okay, let's see. What's the ratings going on? CK, what's the ratings going on?
No, they're killing it. There was we got peaches, we got tomatoes. Okay. People not happy.
We got 1s, 2.5s.
Yeah,
so
a few threes
Mike,
in there.
Mike, how you feeling, man? Okay, all right. Al, where we at in the super chats? How we look? How we doing?
So, all right, let me get back to we got 4 I can read. Shout out to Terry Cal too for the $5 super chat and for being a Fanchise channel member. Said played the better part of 2 quarters with no urgency. They didn't put their foot on their necks like champions do.
Okay,
those are facts, man. Didn't do it. Micah Quaka, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Said that last call was a 5. Thibs is a bad playoff coach, almost like he is allergic to adjustments. He needs to go. We need a new voice.
Nice. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah, new coach. All right. Next.
Here we go. Rasheem Robinson with the $5 super chat said, I'm convinced CP wants to defend Thibs only to boost engagement. I respect the hustle. Got me spending a super chat. Regardless, his effort was poor.
Nice.
That's funny as all hell. Oh,
yeah,
man.
It might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but yes, it's very funny. I respect the hustle. I mean, it might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There is no hustle here. We are the #1 show for the fans by the fans. Just because we are those guys. That's just simple and plain. It has nothing to do with me. If you want to put me on a pedestal, that's up to you. But again, it's always a case where when they win, it's always on the players. When they lose, it's always on the coach. Like I said, it's natural. We're used to it. Look, 3 and 4, we didn't hear anything about it. It was all high fives, and we love the team, and we love Cat, we love Brunson, and blah, 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 blah. Look, we're used to it, man. We're used to it. I was there. I was at the game. I didn't see anything where Thibs was to blame. I saw these guys came out flat. They had no killer instinct, and they let these guys win the game. They let them off the hook. They are who we thought they were, in the words in the late Dennis Green. They let them off the hook. Way Too Melo pointed to the shooting numbers. Look at the shooting numbers, man.
Yeah, they're
Look at
abysmal.
the shooting numbers, bro. Abysmal. They were trash tonight. Point blank.
Awful.
Everyone can get the blame.
Yeah,
And we keep
these are the
saying
same
everybody.
teams that were there.
Everybody.
It's the same
Everybody.
team. It's the same system, the same team. They were trash tonight. They were trash in game 2. 3 and 4, they were really good. They let them fucking family show. They let them get back into the show. Man. Yeah, they let them get back.
KFTV after hours, 1 o'clock. Don't worry.
Yeah, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. They let them get back into the mix in 3 and 4, and they almost lost both games. Execute, man. Finish the score. Finish the job.
What's funny about that super chat by Rashim is that if you talk to CP outside of this, CP is still feeling the same way. There's no change. There's no act. There's no act.
I respect. You don't even know what the hustle is. These people, man.
Oh man, we got Emil. I'm not going to try to butcher your last name. I think. Is this an Aussie $5 super chat? Is that what the A stands for?
Yes. Shout out to Emil. Yep.
So we got
people from Melbourne for sure.
There we go. He said, disappointing. Celtics taking care of business. I want to give credit to OG's defense. Bad loss, but as CP says, accountability game on the way. Here we go.
That's it.
We got a $5 super chat from GOT. Shout out to you for being a Fanchise channel member. Says, from my guy CK2K's overtime fund for whoever we have to hire to stop these nightmare third quarters for the Knicks in 6. For my fellow Knicks fans to calm down. For my fellow Knicks fans to calm the heck down. Relax. That's what he's saying.
Okay. All right. What else we got, man?
All right,
Phones, where we want to go?
We got Oren Lupe with the $10 super chat. Just go try to keep up. It says, can't spend super chat on my member account for some reason, but Bridges no bag, Hart no bag, OG no bag, Towns no bag, but gets penetration. JB only one with the bag. Thibs suspect with adjustments at times. That's what he's got to say. What else we got? We got Eric L. Beach. Shout out to the resident DJ. He said with the $20 super chat. Shout out to you for being a Fanchise channel member. Coming out lethargic in a closeout game is unacceptable. Knicks better get right and get it done in Game 6 Thursday, or else come through Ainsworth Midtown Thursday night. Knicks will get it done. Go. It's a playoff basketball. Shout out to Eric L. Beach. Shout out to D Olive with the hold on 1 second. I'm missing one. Shout out to GQ with another $5 super chat. Said, speak your mind, CK. We see you smiling at CP's Thibs rants.
I'm loving all of this. Look, I hear both sides, but I just can't co-sign the Thibs doesn't get any blame. I'm sorry. That's probably why I was smiling, because he definitely gets blamed for this game as well. But like Alex said, everybody gets blamed. Everybody got to make their shots, but Thibs got to be aware of the situations down the stretch in the game when we have an opportunity to get back in it. So I'm sorry, he gets blamed too.
D with the $10 super chat says, I think Hart flaws show more when OG and Mikal are hesitant to shoot their threes. Biggest thing that upset me when Mikal and OG forces a fading 2 rather than a 3. Hey man, the long 2s are not great when they're fading away. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's see who we got here. Let's get to Anthony, man.
Anthony,
you want to go?
No, let's go, Anthony. Go ahead.
All right, Anthony, what's up, man? What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's happening?
Yo, CP, thank you for the hospitality, man, at the party, bro. The watch party. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It was a pleasure.
Did you enjoy yourself, man?
Oh, dude, me and the girl had an amazing time, man.
Nice.
It was great experience, bro. We will 1000% be back, man. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Were you on the roof or you were downstairs? Were you on the roof or downstairs?
I was on the roof, actually. I reserved the table downstairs, but then I spoke with with one of the managers, and he's like, "Yeah, no problem, man. Stay on the roof and just enjoy yourself." And then we kind of worked everything out.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it, man.
Yeah, man. But to go to what we were talking about, bro, up on the roof before you had left to the garden, we needed to come out with energy and that grit and playing desperate, and we just didn't have it, man. I agree with a little bit of everybody's calls that I've heard so far. Tibbs definitely has his issues, but for me, it's he's not out there shooting the ball, bro. I mean, we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, like you said. Um, Deuce has been terrible, bro. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Deuce, man. I mean, he can't buy a basket wide open. He's missing layups. I mean, the effort's there defensively, but we need him. We need him to be effective on the offensive side of the ball, man.
Deuce
Cat,
goes 2 for 7, 0 for 3 from downtown. That's the coach's fault. But all right, go ahead. Keep going.
and what really did it for me was that last free throw that he missed, bro. I mean, he needed to make that last free throw, and he
0
just.
for 2 from the charity
Yeah,
side. Okay, all right, keep going.
I mean, but Carl Anthony Towns, just lazy tonight, bro. Offensively, he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight to get to a spot, and he settles for getting a post up 25 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
It kills us. I agree with what everybody's saying with Josh and his inability to shoot the ball from the outside and running the pick and roll. It's he just doesn't have that. He's not that threat, so they just ignore him, and it makes it difficult on our offense. But the offense was so stagnant tonight. From opening tip, Jalen dribble, 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 and I'm watching everybody else on the floor, and we're literally standing there watching him. Where's the off-ball screens? Where's the back cuts? There was no energy tonight, man. It really looked like these guys packed their bags to go back to Detroit before they came to the Garden.
Right.
That's what it looked like to me. And we're gonna see what happens in game 6, because like I told you, CP, if this gets to a game 7, it's gonna be scary. I'm telling you right now, if we have to come back to the Garden for a game 7, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I have faith in my guys, man. But we got to play with it. We got to go down to Detroit and play with that grit and really, play with that desperation that we played with in game 3 and game 4. But I appreciate. Yeah, CP.
No, I was saying, man, appreciate just chopping it up pregame, man. Me, you was having a good time. Wifey was having a vibe, and
man, it was awesome.
Good time, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, man.
I appreciate you guys, bro. I appreciate you, CP. We'll definitely do it again, 100%.
Yes, sir. Shout out.
Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Game 6. Come on.
Go. Shout out to Anthony, man. 5s in the chat for Anthony. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Seen a lot of 5s in the chat for Anthony, man. Yeah, we had a good time. Good time up on the roof at the Ainsworth during the pregame festivities. His wifey was very nice, and her and the Knicks chick were vibing. So we was talking, and it was a good time. Good time.
Nice.
Bad game. Yeah, overall. So. As he says, Cap has to drive. You the driver of the car, you got to get into it. But Cap just was not there, man. But, hey, man, CK and Alex, man, speaking of drive, hey, we got to shout out a new sponsor of tonight. Shout out to CarGurus. If you guys have not checked out CarGurus, make sure you guys check them out, man, because shopping for a car should be exciting and not exhausting. But between misleading prices, hey, the new tariffs might have shot some prices up, and now you got hidden fees. It can all feel like a maze, man. Buying a car can feel like a difficult process. Trust me, I'm in the market right now as we speak. But that's where CarGurus comes in. They rank the best deals, verified dealers, and make sure you never pay more than you should. Your big deal, it became just a great deal. And that's with our guys at CarGurus, man. It's no wonder that SimilarWeb actually estimated traffic data shows that CarGurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. So Buy or sell your next car today with CarGurus at CarGurus.com. That's CarGurus, CarGurus.com. And make sure that your big deal is the best deal. Go to CarGurus.com. All right, shout out to CarGurus for the sponsorship, man. Shout out to them, man. Make sure you guys check them. All right, Al, who we got next on the phone today?
We got the Knicks Fix.
There we go. Knicks Fix. How we doing?
What up, fellas? What's going on tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Nope.
Yeah. So actually, tonight, guys, I was outside in the the watch party outside the Garden.
Okay. How was
And
that? You should have came
yeah,
to you got again.
yeah, dude, it was like it was electric. Actually, there were a few guys in there rocking KFTV hoodies and stuff like that. So we were chopping it up.
Okay. All right.
Right. So they were supporting, man. But you know, I'm gonna summarize it in 3 points, CP. 3
Okay.
points, right?
Mhm.
As to why the fans are frustrated with Thibs. The first one is this. When Thibodeau was successful, his offense is predicated off of a supernova guard. There would be 1 or 2 bucket getters and 3 guys who could crash, right? So you had D Rose and Butler, Boozer, Deng, and Joakim. Last year, JB and Devo, Hart, Hartenstein, and OG. Same makeup, but the offense relies on a go-getter, ISO heavy type of, scorer. That's the first point. Like in today's, I think Anthony said it just now. In today's NBA, that you need guys who can screen for the screener, back cuts, easy buckets, right? The second thing is this on offense, it's so hard for this team to score. 80% of these possessions are going out to about 7 or 6 in the shot clock. We don't spam the one thing that I thought that's why we got him. Like, why don't we spam pick and roll with Cat and JB? We barely run it. And you know why? Because Cat's not a good pick setter. So, like, I forgot who said it, way too mellow. You probably need to insert Mitch into the starting lineup for that. But again, his rigidity, that's the second point. Tibbs's rigidity is the rate limiting factor. And then finally, the third fact, guys, is the defensive side, right? In order to win, you have to have different defensive schemes, right? Like when Nick Nurse had the Toronto Raptors, that dude was running like boxing 1, 3-2, 2-3 zone. We don't see none of that. Tibbs relies on an elite rim protector and like 2 supernova defenders and like OG and Mikhail, Luol and Carlos, that sort of thing. I think that's the 3 main points. Like we're watching the same thing over and over and over. Now, in the end, I called in earlier in the year and I had said, yo, if we face Detroit, I'm scared. Right. But I think the Knicks will win this. I think we'll win on the road. Because like Anthony said, if we go to game 7, man, I don't know. But if we get to the next series, we're getting smacked. So that's the thing. It's either Tibbs gets canned now or it gets canned in the next series. But anyway, man, rough night, fellas.
All right, man. Stay up.
Stay up, fellas. Yep.
Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts, man. Okay. What do you guys think? CK and Alex. Or what do you guys think?
CK, why don't you go first?
I feel like we're all just on the same wavelength of just, overanalyzing because of the situation, to be real true. I think he brought up great points. I think he's onto the right track and whatnot, but I we're all just in a place of wanting this to just be done. I think now, I said it to Alex earlier, I think the fact that we now have another game when the team that we're most likely, or that we are, seeing in the second round is going to be sitting and waiting. We're going to overanalyze. We're going to overpoint at things. We're going to reminisce on things that happened in the past. It's just, it all just comes from the underlying fact that we just should have got the damn job done today, point blank, period. That's all I'm hearing, and that's all I want to go with that. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
It should have just been done today. Because now we're going to be overthinking, saying we didn't do that. Job should have been done today, point blank, period.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that it should have been done today. We should have just been able to take care of our business. Well, I go back to saying what I said. It's everybody, man. I think there's moments where Tibbs could be better at helping guys get open. I think there's also moments where these players could execute even better. And tonight, when you look at not coming out with the aggression, like I don't know how there's just you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And so you can tell these guys, you can give them a speech, you can do all those things. Like, I get that to be a motivator, but also deep down, these guys also have to want to go out there and want to go get it. And just at times, man, this was my biggest thing entering the series with Detroit, and why I said I think this thing was going to go 6. I think their attention to detail is it just wanes too much. We saw that throughout the regular season. When we keep talking, like, can they dial it up another notch? I just don't like. I think they're playing the best that they can against a very physical team. It's just there's so many things that it's like we've seen a lot of it going through the regular season, and obviously there's things that have just been running through the previous seasons too that are still issues, regardless of what the roster is. I think all that's building up, and it's building up because we do have to face Boston in the next round. And we've already seen what it looks like against Boston. And the last thing you need after what we saw, what happened to the Knicks against the Indiana Pacers last season, when you're banged up, you're on tired legs, you don't want that going against Boston.
Yeah.
And so I think the more frustrating part is this team should say, hey, if we're about our business, we want to be considered a championship contender team. You go out there, you take care of your job against the Detroit Pistons, and you go get ready to go face the Celtics. Instead, you're going back to Detroit to go entertain this team now and extending the series.
Yep.
And now Boston's like, all right, man, we get some rest, and you guys are gonna come in all banged up now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. They did not seal the deal. They didn't seal the deal, and like I said, I was wondering to see how they would attack this thing. You start the game off, you're down 9-2 already. It's not like that's an insurmountable thing, but I just felt tone. I always feel tone. I always feel vibes. It just wasn't there from the onset. This is why all the tip things, like, bro, they didn't have it from the onset. And my problem with this team is like, yo, like, they don't attack enough. They're not tactful, and their decision making is just so inconsistent. You know, you got to go take it, man, against this. Like, and the ticky tackness with the reps, like, all expected. No complaints.
I'm not even
all
blaming the
expected.
refs, man. You can't even blame the
It's all
refs.
expected,
We knew
man.
it was coming. We knew it was coming today. Yeah, for sure. Not blaming the refs.
You got to fight through all that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it just is what it is. Al, any more supers? Any more supers?
Shout out to DL for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. And we got Rockness Monster with the $5 super chat. It says, how many of us believe we can win a chip? And if not, why not?
Well, listen, man. They got a lot of work to do. That's all I can say.
Yep.
This is not a finished product, so I don't expect it this season.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do, man. All right, man. Yo, salute to the replay gang. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to all our Fanchise channel members. Remember that the show is available in audio podcast format. Tomorrow we will be back for our Bleacher Report show. Plus, we'll have Game of the Week preview as well, man. So stay tapped in, and we'll be back, man. CP, Alex, CK2K. I'll let you boys, man. We out of here. Great show. Peace.